I would have never in a billion years, like, if you had told past me that a female basketball player would be wiping the floor with the biggest stars in the NBA, I would have never believed you.
We can always count on Caitlin Clark to change the game, and this time, it's not just happening on the court. Because make no mistake, something big is coming. Nike isn't testing the waters anymore. They're not easing into this. They're going all in. The marketing machine is officially ramped up. That Christmas commercial? The one that dropped the phrase "from anywhere." Those weren't just 2 words. They were a statement. 2 words that perfectly capture what makes Caitlin Clark different. The range, the confidence, the inevitability. When she steps across half court, the defense already knows it's too late. And now we know what that commercial was really about. Caitlin Clark's signature Nike shoe is coming in 2026. The exact date, still under wraps, but the launch is locked in, and the people behind it are not guessing. 2 of the smartest CEOs in the world are putting real money behind this moment. Not hype, not hope, actual belief, because they know what happens next. Now imagine this. Imagine when Caitlin finally steps back onto the court. New shoes, full Nike campaign, an entire off-season of anticipation building like pressure in a sealed room. That roof at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, it's not just coming off, it's getting blown into orbit. And with it goes the last remaining narrative that the WNBA's success comes from anything other than Caitlin Clark herself. Let me remind you what already happened. May 2025, Caitlin Clark hadn't played a real game in 6 months. No league games, no playoff runs. She suited up for a preseason exhibition against a Brazilian national team most people had never heard of. This wasn't a real game. It wasn't a rivalry. It wasn't even supposed to matter. And yet, Carver Hawkeye Arena sold out in minutes. The buzz was so loud that ESPN made a decision that says everything. They aired it nationally. A preseason exhibition. The result? 1. 3 million viewers tuned in. Let that sink in. Because the 2025 WNBA Finals averaged 1.5 million viewers. And remember, those finals numbers came after the new Nielsen ratings methodology kicked in. A system that counts more devices, more streams, more platforms than ever before. Which means those finals numbers are already inflated. So yes, there's a very real argument that a Caitlin Clark preseason tune-up outdrew the WNBA Finals. Now fast forward to 2026. She returns fully healthy. She debuts a revolutionary Nike shoe. She carries the narrative of a comeback. And she does it with the full weight of Nike's global marketing engine behind her. What happens then? Let's look at the data. Her first game of the 2025 season against the Sky pulled 2.7 million viewers, and that was under the old rating system. Now add the new Nielsen methodology, a signature shoe launch, a return from injury storyline, wall-to-wall national coverage. Here's my prediction, and I'm saying it right now. Caitlin Clark's return game clears 5 million viewers. Over. Not close. You can tell me in the comments if you think that's too high, but history says otherwise. Because here's the reality. With the new media rights deal in place, networks aren't taking risks anymore. Every Caitlin Clark game will be nationally televised. No blackouts. No regional experiments. They're not missing those numbers. She's appointment television. She's must-see TV. She's the reason casual fans tune in. The people who don't follow the league, don't know the standings, don't care about the drama, but will stop what they're doing when she's on. So what does all of this prove? It proves Caitlin Clark is bigger than basketball. She's a mainstream cultural force operating at a level women's sports has never seen before. Let's check the receipts. Trading cards dominating the market while she's injured? #1 most collected basketball player in America? Apple's CEO investing millions into Nike? Nike's CEO betting big on his own company? Revolutionary shoe technology never used before? They said it would fade. It didn't. They said missing a season would kill the momentum. It didn't. If anything, the Caitlin Clark effect has only just begun. She's not just changing the WNBA. She's about to save Nike and leave no doubt that the league belongs to her. If you're still here, drop a W in the comments because you're a winner for sticking around. Thanks for watching.
Times I'm like, man, I wish these things grab better. I wish they had a different mold on the bottom of them. Like, were you super involved in that process as well?
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously I'm pretty like picky about what I wear. Like I like a certain tube Kobe model. So like I knew whatever I was going to put in my own shoe would need to be like the equivalent of that technology or even better. And it's going to be even better. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I think it'll get people excited.
Haters were hoping the Caitlin Clark effect would fade away. I've got bad news for them. It's only getting started. Caitlin Clark is setting new records, reshaping markets, and if I'm reading the signals correctly, 2026 could be a complete takeover. Big-name CEOs are already betting millions on it. Let's talk about what just happened, because it's insane. Here's the news that made me hit record. PSA, the company that grades trading cards and sets the gold standard for the entire collectibles industry, just released its 2025 data. And Caitlin Clark finished as the #1 most collected active basketball player in the world. Let that sink in. She beat LeBron James, the face of basketball for over 2 decades. For championships, for MVPs, the NBA's all-time scoring leader. She beat every active NBA player while sitting on the bench injured. And it gets even crazier. PSA also released a state-by-state map showing the most graded active athletes in America. When you look at basketball, it's not competitive. It's Clark country. In nearly every state, more Caitlin Clark cards were sent in for grading than anyone else. The numbers back it up. 3 of the 10 most graded cards across all sports in 2025 belong to Caitlin Clark. Not just women's basketball. Not just basketball. All sports. Now here's the real kicker. In 2024, Clark ranked 6th among the most collected basketball players. In 2025, despite missing most of the season due to injury, she jumped to #1. PSA President Ryan Hoke said it plainly, "Momentum like this is only seen with the most elite athletes. This isn't about basketball anymore. This is cultural dominance. Icon status. When you can control the collectibles market while watching games from the bench, you've officially transcended the sport." And that explains why some of the most powerful people in business are making massive bets on Caitlin Clark heading into 2026. Millions of dollars. Their own money. All tied to one company, Nike. Because behind the scenes, Nike has been struggling. As of May 2025, Nike stock was down nearly 60% from its 2021 highs. One of the most recognizable brands on earth looked slow, outdated, and disconnected. Newer brands, many of which didn't even exist a decade ago, were eating into their market share. People said Nike had lost its edge, lost its innovation, lost the vision that once made it untouchable. And then there was the Caitlin Clark signature shoe situation. Fans were furious. They expected her shoe in 2025. It didn't happen. Aya Wilson got her signature shoe first. And while Aya is statistically dominant, fans kept asking the same question. Why isn't the biggest draw in women's sports getting the shoe everyone wants to buy? Whether it was production delays, internal prioritization, or Nike simply moving too slowly, it didn't matter. To the public, it looked like another fumble. Another sign Nike didn't understand the moment. But here's what most people missed. December 22nd, 2025, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, quietly bought 50,000 shares of Nike stock. Tim Cook doesn't need risky investments. He could sit in cash for the rest of his life and never worry. When someone at that level puts personal money into a struggling company, it's because they've seen something others haven't. Then came Nike's own CEO, Elliott Hill. At the end of 2025, Hill bought roughly $1 million worth of Nike stock. Think about that. CEOs don't do that unless they know something big is coming. If a company is about to sink, executives sell. They don't buy. Buying at that level is a declaration of confidence. And the numbers are starting to support it. During a recent earnings call, Hill revealed Nike's North American business grew 9%, reaching $63 billion in the last fiscal quarter. After years of decline, the rebound has begun. And what's driving it? Caitlin Clark's signature shoe. Then came December 31st. Caitlin Clark appeared on the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey, and she said something that should have every sneakerhead, every investor, and every basketball fan paying attention. Because at that moment, it became clear 2026 isn't just a season. It's a shift. And Caitlin Clark is right at the center of it.